Frozen Soul, Glacial Domination. Okay, there. Now you got some death metal in there. Alright. So, yeah. This is a death metal release, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I normally don't just go out and seek straight death. I'm usually more of a progressive, technical, melodic death metal type of guy. Hell, I like it if you can do all three. Well, maybe a little death and roll. Hell, I just found out. And a little behind the scenes thing before we get to talking about the actual album. Also a little death and roll. Speaking of that, finally got to listening to the death and roll albums of Swan Song from Carcass and Wolverine Blues by Entombed. I don't know why I blanked on that one. But somehow, for some reason, if you want the guitars to pop out a certain particular way, but somehow that also hurt Carcass's artwork when I finally got to listen to that. Yeah. And also Surgical Steel. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to listen to the early stuff. I'm a little worried on that because I'm not a grindcore guy. But regardless, my point being, guitar-wise, those records fucking rule in that regard. And I think some people shit on those records for some unapparent reasons I don't fully understand, personally. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Wolverine Blues is an influence to Mastodon. Especially going into some of the guitar work they do by the time of Remission. Besides, obviously, Crowbar, probably, and Down, possibly. As most sludge should. Now I got my little rant thing out of the way. But my point now, we're going to Frozen Soul. This album here, Glacial Domination, I'm not sure what number album this is from them. It could be a debut, and if it's a debut, quite a debut. But I didn't know about this band for a while. Turns out, I believe this record may have been produced. Granted, there are some features for sure, that I know for sure. 2 of them, the title track and Abominable, which I think are actually the highlights of this thing. And yeah, Matt needs to do some I kind of knew he'd have that in him because he was involved already in a band that's known to be melodic metalcore, which incorporates melodic death metal. As far as traditional death metal, or a classic style, or at least of a modern band that goes into more classic style of death metal. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It's pretty solid. He knows how to produce, he knows what he's doing when he's involved in it. Granted, I think he's more involved on the title track, guitar-wise. I don't know about vocal. I think maybe he was on also. I think maybe guitar-wise he was. Not sure about vocals. Because I didn't hear his typical vocals. Screams. At all. Maybe he was background so far back in the mix, maybe. I'm not sure. To be fair, because it's back in the mix. Guitar-wise, it's definitely there. But yeah, and those tracks are definitely highlights to me. When they go a little derailing by the time of their pseudo, I guess this is their debut, because apparently they decided to have a title track and there's a track of Simulator. They're pretty decent here. The closing title track is the closing track on Atomic Winter is pretty good. Best Served Cold is pretty cool. John Gallagher. Like Morbid Effigy here is also one of the pretty good ones. John Gallagher, and apparently there's 2 that say John Gallagher, which is weird. From Dying from Dying, basically John Gallagher of Dying Fetus is on this. I've known of Dying Fetus for a while, but just never got into them because I'm guessing they're more closer to grindcore or certain points of traditional death that just kind of steers me away. But you know, this was good, and I think that his feature was pretty cool. And Invisible Tormentor is pretty solid. I mean, it's more closer to that classic style that's more lenient towards deaths, like first couple records that are kind of that still stuck in thrash type of death metal, but not quite deafened. Really, that could possibly inspire more deafened thrash, if you will, bands possibly. But they're not really deafened thrash. They're just more classic death metal in that regard of the more... But yeah, I like this thing. I'm not expecting it for everybody. It's like, if you want more out of death metal than what this offers, I don't know what to... you probably won't get much out of it, I guess. Or at least not much in the terms of like master class or anything. I can't say this is master class. For the most part, I'd say a high thumbs up to the low end of keeping it real. You know, I'll give them that. I'll give them that. You know, that's good, solid. Check it out. You know. What did you guys think of Throws and Souls Glacial Domination? Leave a comment below, let me know. If you like this video, right the like button with thrust if you must. As always, sorry if I spit on you guys. As always, guys, keep it rant. Also, click the notification bell once you hit that subscribe button, all that stuff. And my socials in the description below. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, y'all.